In this video, I'm going to predict the rules for Disney's Lorcana. These are just my random prediction of what I think the rules are going to look like for Disney's new card game. All the predictions are going to use evidence that I collected. For sure, we're going to find out what's going to happen spring 2023. So come back and congratulate me if I'm right and roast me if I'm wrong in the comments. First, we'll start with my research, and then we'll get to the spicier predictions at the end. The Gamer reported speaking with Ryan Miller, co-designer of Lorcana. He painted a picture of veteran TCG players coming together to create their own dream game. Sounds good. Keep what works, get rid of what doesn't. Should be a good plan. I mean, look how good Marvel Snap did with the right branding. You have a simple game, characters people love, should just be a great success. Now there's the whole part about keeping them playing after they've bought in.
Poor air conditioner. I didn't know he'd take it so hard.
Well, he was a jerk anyway.
Miller has 20 years of experience. His experience includes working at Wizards of the Coast on Magic the Gathering and Duel Masters. He worked at many positions at Wizards of the Coast, but he also designed the Digimon game. His co-designer, Steve Warner, also worked at Wizards of the Coast for many years. Ryan and Steve have been working on Lorcana for 2.5 years. They're trying to make a game that anyone would enjoy. The goal is to provide complexity and depth for returning TCG players, along with giving new players something that they can dig into right away. Some information's already been leaked, like you can only have 2 inks in your deck at once, which kind of means that when you choose some cards, you lock yourself out of other cards. And what can we tell from the cards just by looking at them? We can tell they have a cost, attack, defense, a name, a title, and subtypes. It even looks like some characters have costumes. They're able to inherit traits from a base character. In the Digimon card game, you can stack cards and they can inherit traits all the way up. It seems like this could be happening here. It could have something to do with those diamonds. I haven't seen enough evidence, but maybe those diamonds on the card mean how those cards can stack on each other. Where if you have a 2-diamond card, it needs a 1-diamond card to stack it. Exert seems to be the terminology for tapping a card. Thank you, Elsa. The ability Challenger looks like it's an enhancement to your attacks, so that these characters are more offensive. Thank you, Hook. But going back to the 2-ink max, I think you almost need some colorless cards that I think should be called Toodles. And if it isn't called that, it should be. These tools would be like support skills that every deck needs, like locating cards, drawing cards, discarding cards. If anyone from Lorcana is watching this video right now, Toodles.
Do it. Do it.
At this point, we're going to go deep into the speculation side. Subscribe so you can roast me later. I'll have a video to review the announcement in spring. Some of the easier card games have prize pools. They don't have life totals like you do in Magic. So I'm thinking they're going to have something similar to that in Disney. Having the characters actually attack a player when it's aimed at a younger audience doesn't seem like something Disney would do. So maybe giving you prizes for knocking out other people's characters. That might be how they balance this. The diamonds on the cards could also mean how many prizes you get for knocking that character out. So we'll just have to wait and see. The diamonds are really a wild card in this case. What I really want to predict is how we're actually going to play these cards. Because I don't think we're going to use a mana system like you use in Magic the Gathering. That system is really complicated. It seems kind of out of date compared to what you see in most trading card games today. In Pokemon, you can drop down as many Pokemon as you want, as you have in your hand, that you have bench space for. The only thing that stops you is energy that you place on your cards. In Digimon, you can just put them down if you can pay a cost that we're going to talk about in a second. And even Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a different way of placing cards down. I really doubt we're going to see a system like Hearthstone where you get energy based on the turn you're at. It works great for a short game, but as soon as you get into turn 15, it doesn't work so well anymore. So going back to Digimon, Miller worked on Digimon, and they used this energy system called Memory. Forgetting the name, which doesn't matter to us at all here, you basically have a max of 10 energy you can use going down to 0, and the opponent has 10 energy you can use, and it's a slider. The more points you use, the more it uses up your energy, and eventually pushes into the opponent's energy. As soon as you hit 0 energy, it becomes the opponent's turn. What's interesting about this system is if you want to play a high cost card early on in the game, you can, but you give your opponent more options that they can use on their turn. It'd be interesting to see if that's the energy system they take here, but considering it's the same game designer, it's not out of question. So those are my predictions. Do you agree? Remember to like the video and check out my other video on what characters they should be putting in this game that kids will recognize.